How big is the USA really? How many Germanys can you fit inside the USA? Let's find out.
The United States is currently the world's sole superpower with military installations around the world.
Yeah.
As a country, its geography spans from subtropical forests to rolling plains, scorching deserts, and Arctic wastes. But just how big is the US really in comparison to the rest of the world? Hello and welcome to another episode of the Infographics Show. Today, we're taking a look at how big the US really is. The US is approximately 5,680,000 square miles, with terrain that varies dramatically. Only Russia at 10.6 million square miles.
Of course, Russia is bigger, but most of the territory is useless, because most of the people live here in this west part. In the east part, in Siberia, it's very cold, it's very hard to live. So I think America is practically bigger.
And Canada at 6,205,000 square miles are larger than the US. Its three biggest states, Alaska at 663,000 square miles, Texas at 270,000 square miles, and California at 160,000 square miles, combined would be the 17th largest nation in the world, immediately after Sudan at 1.15 million square miles, and right before Libya at 1 million square miles. In total, the US is larger than the 107 smallest countries in the world combined. With about 327 million people, the United States is also the third most populated nation on Earth, having a total of 4.28% of the total world population. With a net yearly migration rate of approximately 900,000 people, the US is by far the one place the rest of the world wants to live, with Germany coming in second at 350,000.
And also a lot of Germans go to America.
Migrants.
They moved
Turkey
there.
in third with 325,000 migrants. In the US, 83% of the population lives in cities, with its three most populated cities being New York City with 8.5 million people, Los Angeles with 4 million people, and Chicago with 2.7 million people. All combined, the population of the US's three biggest cities is equal to the population of Chad with 14.5 million people.
Insane.
Just these three cities alone are also more populated
I think Berlin has 5 million.
Cuba with 11.5 million people, Belgium with 11.3 million people, and Greece with 11.2 million people. When counting the greater metropolitan area, New York City is the 10th largest city in the world, with a total population of 18.6 million people, just behind Cairo with 18.8 million people, and just ahead of Dhaka with 17.6 million people. This would make the greater New York City area the 63rd largest country in the world, just ahead of Syria with 18 million people. The US is the world's largest economy with a gross domestic product of $20.4 trillion, or 23.3% of the total global economy.
I can't even imagine the number.
China is just behind the US
20
at
trillion.
$14 trillion and 16.1% of the total global economy. When measured by purchasing power parity, or the price of goods and services versus individual incomes, the US comes at number 2 to China, whose GDP PPP is $25.2 trillion. This means that while the Chinese economy is about 30% smaller than the US's, Chinese individuals have on average 20% greater purchasing power in their own country. The three biggest economies within the US states are California with a
China is so rich.
GDP of $2.6 trillion, Texas with a GDP of $1.6 trillion, and New York with a GDP of $1.5 trillion. Altogether, these three states would be the world's third largest economy, just ahead of Japan with a GDP of $5 trillion.
5 trillion.
California's economy alone is as big as the United Kingdom's. Texas
But California is also very expensive. So you get more money in California, but you also spend more money.
As big as Canada's, and New York's is as big as South Korea's. The United States also has the best equipped military in the world, though it's only the third largest at 1,282,000 active duty personnel. Ahead of it are India with 1.4 million active duty personnel and China with 2.1 million active duty personnel. The US spends over $610 billion on its military every year, or 3.1% of its total GDP. 35% of the world's total military expenditure, and more than the next 9 nations combined. Just behind it are China with $150 billion in expenditures and Saudi Arabia with $76 billion in expenditures.
Don't forget, the USA has a lot of bases everywhere, from Middle East to Europe to Africa.
The United States also has the most military bases
in
the most foreign countries in the world. with approximately 800 military installations in 80 countries, possibly more military bases in more foreign lands than any nation or empire in history. The cost of maintaining these bases alone is about $156 billion, more than China spends on its entire military.
That's
a lot.
On
the civilian side, the U.S. has the world's third largest police force, with 913,000 total police officers, placing it just behind India at number 1 with 1.9 million police officers.
India has 2 million police forces.
And China with 1.6 million police
That's
officers.
insane.
In the realm of healthcare, the U.S. is the most expensive nation on Earth, with a health expenditure per capita of $10,350, placing it ahead of Switzerland at $7,900
How much is Germany?
and Germany at $5,550.
So the half.
While on average the rest of the world spends about 10.3% of its GDP on healthcare, the U.S. spends 18% of its GDP on healthcare. The United States is a large, complex nation, big enough to host several different distinct accents within its own borders. Its people are hardworking and industrious, leading the world's economy. But despite what recent political events might indicate, they're also...
I always thought there would be one America, but people told me that America is so big that America in the West is different than America in the East. Every state has their own culture, so there's not one America, there's not one USA. It's a mix of different cultures, different people, different ideas.
Most welcoming nation in the world, with 3 times the number of immigrants than nations
but right
in
now
either
it's
the number
hard.
2 or number 3 spot in a global comparison.
This video is a bit older, so I don't think it's as welcoming anymore, especially for people. I don't think it's as welcoming anymore, or that's how I perceive it, because I hear in the social media that Americans don't want immigrants anymore, even from Europe. It's so crazy how one big country dominates on so many levels. Personally, I can't even imagine how's the life as an American. For example, as an American, do you travel to all the American states or do you remain in one state? Because the states are so big that traveling from one state to the other states is like changing countries. So if you're an American, please write your experience in the comment section. And if you got any other videos to recommend, also write them in the comment section, and please support my American videos by giving me a like and a follow, and I will see you later. Alligator, auf Wiedersehen, bye bye, bye bye.